Ms. Darmisa been mentioned that the codex has been adopted in last year. So we are not changing our regulation yet. So we still use the term of hypersensitivity. So in this provision, it mentioned that any ingredient that can cause hypersensitivity or allergen, it must be declared on the label. And what is the ingredient that can cause the hypersensitivity? So in current regulation, we have only five food ingredients that can cause the hypersensitivity, which is, the first is the cereals. Cereal containing gluten, wheat, example like the wheat, rye, barley, and oats. And then we also have nut and nuts product, including the peanut and soybean. Then we also have the fish and fish product. So here, fish and fish product, including all the marine aquatic life. We have the milk and milk product, and also egg and egg product. And not forget on the sulfite. So in regulation, it is not packed together with the ingredient that can cause hypersensitivity, because we know that sulfite is one of the preservative. So it packed under the regulation of preservative, but you still have to declare when the sulfite is more than 10 ppm. Let's say you add the sulfite more than 10 ppm, then you have to mention the words contain sulfur dioxide. That is one of the mandatory statement. So this is example how the industry usually will appear on the label. Okay, so example here, the first is chocolate malt drink. Let's say it's a chocolate malt drink. So you have the cocoa powder, then you have the malt extract, which is the malt extract actually is a big group of the cereal, right? So you must be specifically mention what is the type of malt that you have used, whether you use the barley, oat, or rye. You have to mention this specifically. So the second example is premixed coffee. So usually in the premixed coffee, the industry using the non-dairy creamer. So non-dairy creamer, so usually I will advise industry to look into the product spec, because sometimes when you use the term non-dairy, so should be there is no dairy, correct? But you have to careful, because some of the ingredients they are use the sodium caseinate, which is the sodium caseinate is a milk protein. Okay, so you must be cautious. So when you using the non-dairy creamer, so if there is a use of sodium caseinate, so you must mention non-dairy creamer in bracket contain milk protein. So this is also happened to one of our Malaysia product also. We exporting to the Australia. It's a coconut milk, but they are using the non-dairy creamer, but they are not highlighting the contain milk protein. So that product have to return back to Malaysia. Okay. So biscuit. So here is example for the nutrients and additive that source it from the allergen or hypersensitivity. So example like DHA, we know that DHA is come from the fish. So you must declare DHA fish. And additive here, emulsifier, lecithin. Okay, soy lecithin. So there is one case happened just now in our country Malaysia. So because we take one product from the Thailand, then we test for the allergen. Then we found out there is a soy, traces of soy, but it does not mention anywhere traces of soy. But we found that they are using the lecithin, because in Malaysia right now, for the additive statement, you can use, you can declare in the label as functional class followed by the chemical name, or functional class followed by the INS number. So that industry using functional class followed by INS number for lecithin. So it just declare emulsifier in bracket INS 322 sub 1. But then it doesn't. They did not declare the soy, contain soy. So that product have to return back. But we know that the lecithin actually it can come from the soy, or it can come from sunflower oil or other oil, plant-based. So if you are using the soy, then you have to write as a soy. Okay. So this is what Ms. Dawisa said, precautionary allergen labeling. So in our regulation, it doesn't not specific as you have to write as a precaution allergen labeling. But usually we will advise industry if there is a possibility of cross-contamination, then you may put the word contain traces or manufactured in same facility, because we have come across of a product. There is a porridge, so the chicken porridge, there is a traces of fish. Maybe this, there are they share the same processing line with the fish. So they are not declared this manufactured in the same facility. They also process fish. So that company also been punished. Let's say if they write this statement, maybe they will not be punished. Okay. So in Malaysia also there is some allergen management where we put it under the Malaysia standard. So we have the Malaysia standard for food safety according to the HACCP system, where it already covered the allergen management. And also we also refer to the codex on the practice of food hygiene, allergen management for the business operator. Okay? So this is what the industry in Malaysia is referring on the allergen management. So what's next? What's next? Okay, there is because previously I mentioned that in regulations, so one of it is a nut and nut product. But in the codex, it's a tree nuts. So there is a question from our industry and others industry also say that all legumes is also allergen source. Legumes is example like the lentils, chickpeas, mung bean. So those actually is an allergen or not? Is allergen or not? Allergen or not? No. So legume is not one of the allergen, except for peanut and soybean. That is a legumes, but it can cause the hypersensitivity or allergen. But not all legume is a hypersensitivity. So that's why in regulation, right now, we amend our regulations to two food category, two food ingredients. So we divided nut and nuts product into the tree nut and tree nut, except coconut. Because coconut is part of the tree nuts, but it's not cause an allergen. So we make exception for the coconut and make separate subcategory for the peanut and soybean product. But this one is being amending before the adoption of new codex standard. Okay? So we are not taking out the new requirement under the codex. So like Ms. Darwisa say, on the new adoption, so as been shown by the Ms. Darwisa, so there are a specific food ingredient that one is a mandatory and another one is optional by risk assessment. So like example here is the cereal containing gluten. Certain of the ingredient under the cereal is mandatory to be declared, but like oat, is under the voluntary, which if the country needs to take this one, it must have the risk assessment. And others like the tree nuts, like Ms. Darwisa mentioned, one specific tree nut is a mandatory under the mandatory, and another part is not mandatory, not in the list of mandatory to be declared, but it is need to have the risk assessment, based on the risk assessment. So the challenge for Malaysia right now, because there is a limited on the risk assessment, because not all patients in Malaysia that have the allergen come to the hospital or been recorded. Like me, I also have allergen, but I'm not going to hospital to tell that I'm allergic to those foods. So there is no specific data. So to do the risk assessment, we need more data. Maybe we have to collect and collaboration with the industry and in itself, so it needs more lab capability on that. Okay, so with the different methodologies also, so for Malaysia we need more data on that. That's all for me. So as conclusion is, I think that the allergen is very important. So if within the Asian, we can collaborate to get the data also, it's good to get that data. Okay, so with that, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ms. Lingana. All right. Our next presentation is the country report on the current regulations for allergen labeling in Singapore. And the speaker is Ms. Sia Pik Ching, Deputy Director of the Regulatory Standards and Veterinary Office at the Singapore Food Agency. Although she couldn't join us in person today, we are pleased to share her record presentation on Singapore's regulations. Her record, please.
My name is Sia Pek Cheng. I'm from the Singapore Food Agency. Today, I have the honor to share with you Singapore's allergen labeling for pre-packed food. Firstly, I would like to give a brief introduction about Singapore Food Agency, the agency where I come from. Singapore Food Agency, or SFA, is a statutory board under the Ministry of Sustainability and the Environment. It was formed on the 1st of April 2019 to oversee food safety and food security from farm to fork. The vision of SFA is safe food for all, and our mission is to ensure and secure a supply of safe food. SFA adopts the principle that ensuring food safety for our population is a joint responsibility between the government, industry, and consumers. While the government can put in place a comprehensive food safety system, the industry and consumers must also play their part. The industry can adopt food safety assurance and enhance its food safety competency. For example, through adopting food safety management system to give consumers the assurance that what they are eating are safe. Consumers can also play their part by being aware of food safety risk and take necessary precautions to keep food safe for their families and for themselves. Now, I would like to share an overview of Singapore's labeling requirements for pre-packed food. All pre-packed food for sale to consumer in Singapore must be labelled. Under the Food Safety and Security Act, the term pre-packed is defined as food that is sealed or packed in the package in which the food is to be supplied. For pre-packed food, when it is sold to the consumer cannot see what's in the food or how it is made. So it is very important that the information of the food to be provided on the package so the consumer can know what they are purchasing. This is especially important for consumers with allergies, for example, peanut or egg allergies, who cannot consume food containing peanuts or eggs, as this would trigger an immune response in their bodies, which may even be fatal. There are also consumers with specific dietary needs who, because of religious or health reasons, choose to follow a certain diet and are not able to consume certain food. The information provided on the package of food is thus important to help guide their food choices. Information in English. First, name and description of the food. Secondly, statement of ingredients, including ingredients known to cause hypersensitivity to individual. It also has to be labeled with net quantity of food in the package, name and address of local business entity responsible for the food, country origin, lot identification, and direction for use. Now I will zoom into the requirements of statement of ingredients, including the ingredients known to cause hypersensitivity to individual. Statement of ingredients listed on the prepacked food must be preceded by an appropriate heading or title. For example, ingredients. The manufacturers first have to list down all the ingredients used to make the food by their exact identities in descending order by ingoing weight. For example, for a coffee product, if the ingredients that make up bulk of the product is water, water should come first, followed by coffee powder, creamer powder, sugar, and so on. Second step, the manufacturers have to identify the compound ingredients used in the food and find out the constituent of the compound ingredients. The meaning of compound ingredients is those ingredients that are made up of more than one substances or constituent. So the food manufacturers have to list down all the constituents that make up the compound ingredients in descending order by weight, in parentheses next to the compound ingredients. You can look at the example at the bottom of the slides. For example, if whey protein powder is one of the ingredients and is made up of a few constituents in a whey protein powder, then the manufacturers have to list whey protein powder followed by the constituent in the whey protein powder. For example, in this case, is pea, brown rice, and pumpkin seed. Statement of ingredients must also include the ingredients that are known to cause hypersensitivities to individual. Under the food regulations, these are the list of foods and ingredients that cause hypersensitivity and must be declared on the food label. Firstly, cereals containing gluten. This refers to cereal like wheat, rye, barley, oats, spelt, or their hybridized strains and their products. Crustacean and crustacean product includes crayfish, prawn, shrimp, lobster, crabs, and their products. Egg and egg products include eggs from laying hens, as well as eggs from duck, turkey, quail, goose, gull, guinea fowl, and their products. Fish and fish products include fish and mollusks, such as oyster, clams, scallops, and their products. Next, we have milk and milk products, including milk from cows, buffalo or goats, and their products. Tree nuts and nut products include almond, hazelnut, walnut, cashew nut, pecan nut, Brazil nut, pistachio nut, macadamia nut, and their products. And finally, if the product contains sulfites in concentration of 10 milligrams per kg or more, it must also be declared. For example, if a food is added with food additive sulfur dioxide or sulfites directly, or it contains carried over sulfite products for food ingredients at a total concentration of 10 milligrams per kg or more, then the manufacturers have to declare this on the food label. Ingredients that cause hypersensitivities to individuals can be declared using two methods. Under example 1, the manufacturers can declare them as part of the statement of ingredients. You can see that wheat is declared under the statement of ingredients. Under example 2, the manufacturers can choose to highlight that this product contains wheat separately from the list of ingredients. Both these methods are allowed. So I have for today on the allergen labeling requirements in Singapore. If you have more questions and if you require more information, feel free to visit the Singapore Food Agency's website at www.sfa.gov.sg. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for her record video. And for the last, but not least for sure, our last speaker, please welcome Dr. Gurati Thamapan, Product Marketing of Neogen Asia, Thailand. He will show us for food safety solution on allergen. Please welcome Dr. Gurati on the stage.
Hello everyone. My name is Reddy Tolan. It's an honor to be here at the Asian Food Safety Forum. Today, I will show you how Neogen to be part of your allergen solution. Today, I will walk you through three main topics, including Neogen Food Safety Solution, food allergen overview, and Neogen allergen solution. The Neogens be the comprehensive food safety solution such as packing film. I think you might well know the packing film for the indicator of bacterial testing, culture media or hygiene, also the hygiene monitoring, and also the allergen and natural toxin products. The Neogen always supporting food security from farm to fork to make sure that the food producer until the consumer stay safe. Okay, and now in the part of food allergen overview, you guys all may know the food allergen is a specific protein that can trigger immune response, and the allergen fact. And now, 220 to 520 million people may have food allergies, and the allergy can be the right threatening. The avoidance is the best strategy to avoid the allergic reaction. Food allergens consider the food safety hazard in the most regulatory organization. And food handling is a must to control, to place the minimize risk of the cross-contamination. For the allergen labeling regulation, and now for the USA, and most regulation is concern the big nine, including milk, egg, peanut, wheat, tree nuts, soybean, sesame, fish, and crustacean. And some of the other country may have something else such as buckwheat, celery, mustard, lupin, mollusk, and sunflower. If you guys interested in the allergen regulation globally, you can go to the FARPP or FAR website to find out more the details. And for the Thailand, you guys all may know the statement should be clear, such as the contain something or may contain in the PAL, precautionary allergen labeling. And now for the Thailand, now concerned about now including gluten, tree nuts, mollusk, soy, egg, milk, fish, and crustacean. And the food allergen is must have a hazard analysis, including the risk assessment of any kind of food allergens, validated preventive controls, and accurate and clear labeling of allergen in the finished products, and have the real validation schedule for the regular verification and monitoring procedure, and also have the corrective action plan. And the food allergens are regulated by both the government, such as FDA or EFSA, and also the private GSFI benchmark, such as FSC 22,000 or BRCGS. And in this slide, I will show you the allergen control plan, such as starting from the raw material and distribution to the storage. For the raw material, you have to ensure that the raw material are the source from the allergen-aware suppliers, and require the allergen declaration from the vendors. And after distribution, you need to make sure that it has a plan or prevent the cross-contamination program. And the storage should be separate from the non-allergen and the allergens. And the manufacturing, you need to make sure have the plan for the plant's cleaning and sanitation. The plant cleaning and sanitation, you have to validated cleaning procedure to eliminate the allergen residue. And final product, segregate the allergen containing products labeled correctly based on allergen present. And for the testing, you have to have the right method such as the ELISA also to verify cleaning effectiveness, the product safety, and also the final product to make sure that you label the right allergen. And why include testing in the allergen control? First, testing can help protect the public, which means the consumer is safe from the allergen. Second, testing can help the protect from a company reputation is important also, and testing can simplify the product label. And last, testing can improve efficiency, how good or how better to your cleaning validation or cleaning sanitation. And now I will show you how the Neogen can be your partner in the allergen solution. For now, we have the product, including the qualitatives, including a Review 3D or the allergen protein rapid kit as a lateral flow device, and the quantitative, including the name of the Veratox or the Veratox VIP, and the semi-quantitative, the general protein swab. For the lateral flow device and the ELISA, the product is a antibody-based test, which is highly specific for specific allergen that you may concern. And for the qualitative is rapid. It just allows 5 to 11 minutes to get the result and easy to operate. For the quantitative is a laboratory based, and it's still easy to use and can be determined as a part per million or ppm. Okay, for the lateral flow device, we have the Review 3D and the allergen protein rapid. It's very fast, just 5 to 11 minutes, and easy to use, no need equipment. And some of them get the AOC, PTM, or GFFO approval. Okay, I will show you the sample how to use. It's just like the swab for the collect the sample, and then add to the tube and extract. Just shaking for 1 minute, and after that, take the extractant and then just dip the device and wait the result for 5 minutes. And you get the result is contain the allergen or not contain the allergens. If you got interest more, you can reach out your Neogen representative, or you can go to our booth in over there. I will show you how to use it. Okay, next, for the ELISA based method, we have the Veratox and the Veratox BSP. For the consumer that you need the specific allergen and in the amount of the ppm, it's still easy to use, and our kit is a validate for the food and environmental sample. It just take time around 30 minutes to get the result, and for the LSC PTM also. And the sensitivity is to meet the criteria of the Codex FAO and WHO also. And for the Veratox VIP is optimized, is higher sensitivity, and also can use the complex matrix such as the chocolate or had highly tanning. You can use it also. You can scan the QR code to find out about the Veratox VIP in there. And if it's based on the analyte, and now we have 17 types for the lateral flow of the allergen and 13 types for the ELISA. Okay, and next part, we also provide the protein conversion. And why this matter? You may know, it's like when you determine the allergen is the report is as a ppm on total food scale, right? But according to the latest codex, such as the reference dose or the PAL, they're focusing on the ppm protein scale. If you not convert that, the result is you may when you determine your risk assessment, you can get like maybe your risk is like over or the underestimated. And if you use this, is like align with the global harmonization standard. Okay, and this one also is that another allergen. If you got interest, you can reach out to your Neogen representative also. And next, for the cleaning verification, I will show you the protein swab. It's called the authenticity. The authenticity is a real-time result just to get the immediately corrective action as detect the total protein at least as a 3 microgram proteins. It's fit for purpose to many allergen control verification plan. And why using Altec protein swab? It's really easy to use. It's just swab, click, heat, and interpret. And the get result is a real time. And it can be easy to integrate your allergen management program. Last but not least, the sunfire that mentioned earlier is, it still have the allergen, even may not trigger the immune system, right? We have a kit, it's called a sunfire kit to test, to make sure that your allergen control plan is great. It's at grade LOD is just low as the 0.34 ppm. And it's very easy to use. If you can trade, you can reach out or go to the website, themegasam.com. And next. Okay. And I will show you how the Neogen can be your partner in allergen control plans. For the first part, you can use a total protein swab to verify how you clean, how to store it between non-allergen and the allergen, how the distribution. For the manufacturing, you still can use a total protein, or you can use a lateral flow as a review 3D or the allergen protein rapid kit to make sure that your plan is clean well. And last, for the final products, you can also use the same, and you can use the ELISA-based method to make sure that your final product is not contain any allergen and the right labeling. The Neogen is not just a supplier, it can be your partner because we had a support in the hardware, the software, and the tool and resource, and the metric feasibility. And the allergen that I told you is the part of the latest environmental monitoring handbook, second edition. This book is not only the allergen, is include the environmental monitoring program in your food facility. You can go to the website, neogen.com, and go to the Get It Free. You can go to the website to get it free. Also, you can reach out your Neogen representative for details about this. And if you want to find out more, you can add us at the Neogen APAC or scan the QR code or connect us via the Facebook for the mostly Thai people, right? For the Thai people, it's a Neogen Asia Thailand, or maybe the Line official also. You can add. You can join us. Okay, now I will show you the last hour promo video. Let's see. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Kun Kirati. All right, we finished with all speakers and we have actually plenty of time. So we can have QA section. If you have any question, please. ค่ะอาจารย์วราพัฒน์
Thank you very much for your informative about the allergens. Yeah, I have the question for the Malaysia, our neighborhood, country. Yeah, we're talking about a lot about sesame. Yeah. So I haven't seen from the list of your allergens. Yeah, how it was.
Okay, as I mentioned before in my slide that just now our current regulation is many before the new adoptions. So for the new adoption of including the sesame, so right now we are not taken into the new adoption yet. So we will collect on the data risk assessment. We will do a risk assessment data on Malaysia. So if there is people that tolerates with the sesame, then we will add to our regulation, but not yet. We need maybe around another 5 years job to do. Okay, thank you.
It's under progress.
Yes, under progress. Yes.
So any more questions from the floor? Okay, one more right there.
Should it be in Thai or in English? Okay, so I'm actually from the enzymes company, and during the enzyme production, we use some kind, like for example, wheat in our fermentations. And during the process, we do some of the purification. However, at the end, when the customer asks us about whether that we contain wheat in the finished products or not, it come into our kind like very critical answer that we have to answer to the customer. But because of the ELISA process right now that you evaluate, it cannot be say that it is none, right? We still have like not like lower detection limit. So in such a case, can we say if we cannot detect by the ELISA, can we say that it is non-allergens? Or we still have to say it contains allergens?
Thailand or Malaysia?
I love all of you.
Okay. Thailand first? Okay. So on behalf of Malaysia, this is one of the critical parts because there is a sample also we take from the sample from outlet. So there is a product that actually like yours, so they are using the enzyme, but of course on during the production, so there is no detection of enzyme, but maybe there are traces of maybe a little bit. So when we do the test, then it will be detected. So if not detected 100%, then if you want to declare, you also can, because it not be detected. So but once it can be detected, then it will cause problems to you.
Customer would come like, if you cannot say it's zero, you have to declare that it's contained. But there is no way, no method to analyze that it is zero. So it's quite difficult for us to like go over this barrier.
Yeah, correct. It's a quite challenge that.
Maybe I can add something. I think the regulation in Thailand is similar to Malaysia, but with the new risk assessment for exemption, actually, if you want to exempt something or saying this not present in the food product, you can use the RFD, which is presented in the table and mentioned in several presenters. And the recommended margin of exposure that experts recommend is the RFD divided by 30. Yeah, if you undergo all the risk assessment for the exemption recommended by the experts, and then the level is below the RFD divided by 30, then you can ask for the exemption and don't have to say it. Yeah, but that is not in the regulation just yet. It's only recommended by the experts.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Any more questions? Yes,
Can I speak Thai?
sure ค่ะ
Okay. Can I ask you นะ Yes, yes. About the neogen ถ้าโรงงานเขาเป็นโรงงานที่ผลิตพวกงาขี้ม่อนเนี่ยฮะงาขี้ม่อนทางภาคเหนือเนาะอย่างเงี้ยเราดีเทคได้ไหม
งาขี้ม่อน
ใช่มันไม่ใช่เซซามิอ่ะแต่มันชื่องาขี้ม่อนอ่ะอย่างเงี้ยเราดีเทคได้ไหม
อ่าอันนี้เดี๋ยวต้องเช็คดูก่อนขอตอบแค่ว่าถ้าต้องไปดูชื่อภาษาอังกฤษนะหรือชื่อดูกลุ่มของมันว่ามันอยู่ในกลุ่มไหน แต่ว่าอาจจะยังไม่ได้การันตีนะตอนนี้ เพราะว่าอย่างที่บอกชุดคิดของเราค่อนข้าง specific กับ regulation ซึ่งงาคิมอนมันน่าจะแยกออกไปจาก regulation ปกติ
ตัวเซซามิเนาะ
ใช่ครับ
พอดีมีลูกค้าถามมาก็เลยมีโอกาสก็เลยได้ถามอยู่
เดี๋ยวเราค่อยคุยกันหลังนี้ได้ครับ
โอเคครับ
So any more questions? All right. If not, and if you have further questions, our speakers are still around, and you can ask them later. All right. I think today we have explored allergen labeling and management, and focused like 3 countries: Thailand, Malaysia, and Singapore. And it's clear that allergen labeling is not just about regulations; it's about protecting consumers in everyday life. And last, thank you everyone to joining us today, and thanks to all our speakers and our sponsors. Thank you very much.
Special thanks to Associate Professor Dr. Kanitaporn Wangnai for moderating this session. So fantastic to have a question from our audience as well. Thank you very much for making this active session to all. And once again, we would like to encourage each participant kindly scan the QR code, which is displayed on the screen by now. If you have any suggestions for us, please kindly help us to improve our future edition of Lab Square to the next level. And once again, by waiting the times that everyone completing the conference away. Once again, today will be the incredible day. We heard from many billion minds and we learned so much. So we like to continue this momentum. We love to hear your feedback, your thoughts as well. To conclude today, which is the last session, it would be great, and we would like to express our appreciation. Thank you very much once again to everyone for joining us here at Lab Square. Kyrie allow me to introduce the final day will happening on tomorrow. The first session will start at 10:30 a.m. under the topics of health link, nationwide health data linking platform by Big Data Institute Public Organization, followed by the session by Building Beyond Tomorrow, AI Sustainability and Thai Research-Based Innovation, and conclude in the afternoon session from 2 p.m. onwards, Bio-Based Content Carbon 14 Lab. So we'd like to welcome everyone back here at Lab Square to gain more valuable insights from industry experts. Once again, you still have time to explore our exhibition until 5 p.m. today, and we look forward in welcoming everyone on tomorrow. Thank you very much and see you on tomorrow.